Okay, hi, my name is SuperAutoPets21927, and I have something to say about extracurriculars. Okay, so I was scrolling SGExams, and then I saw this post about a day ago, and it got me thinking. So, I'll probably flash on the screen now, and then I'll just read it out. So the title says, "What to do, what to even do slash how to start preparing extracurriculars," and this is by you slash no background 9383. Okay, I'll read it. I'm an incoming JC1 student that wants to go to an overseas uni to study econs or medicine. I've been stressing so much because I genuinely don't know how to even start any extracurriculars. I don't even have anything to me. I think he meant like I don't even have anything for me right now. I see so many people who are admitted to Ivy Leagues having a long list of extracurriculars, while I don't even have anything. I feel so useless and worthless right now because while others have been invested on with 10-year musical instrument lessons, years and years of sports and foreign language lessons, years to network with others, I've wasted my life for 16 open bracket close to 17 close bracket years, and I dead ass don't know what to do or where to start with my life. I don't know what internships I should begin with. I don't know what volunteering I should do. I don't know how to make myself useful at all. Studying is probably the only thing I can do, and it feels so lackluster in comparison to the many others who have made impacts, capital I, on the world. Need tips. Open bracket, how many ECs to invest in, internships I should go for, how I can even make an impact in the world without feeling like a floating speck. Close bracket, end post. Okay, wow, what a post that is. I'm sorry, no background 9383. Your English CMI, bro. But let me try and dissect your post and try to answer all your questions, because clearly there's a lot going on, and I'm pretty sure anyone can tell just by your tone that you're stressing a little bit. So I'll go down. I'll approach this sentence by sentence. Sorry, I just woke up from a nap, so my brain might be lagging a bit, but I don't think this will be a long video. Okay, so first one. I want to study econs or medicine overseas. That's what you said, right? So firstly, I find that really interesting because you seem to be very convicted. You say, I want to study. So that doesn't sound like you have a lot of uncertainty. Seems like you're quite fixated on either econs or medicine. The thing is, from what I've dissected from your post, you haven't really been exploring econs or medicine in regards to participating in like activities related to it. So my question is, how do you know for sure that you want to study econs or medicine? By the way, they are two really different fields. So like econs is closer to the social sciences, and then medicine you have to commit like 10 years, I think, including like grad school and other stuff. And so you gotta think about it. If you're gonna commit the next 10 years to studying medicine, or like if you're gonna do 4 years as a bachelor's in econs, and nowadays to get a job with an econs degree, most even choose to further their studies to a master's or a PhD even. So that'll be like 6 to 8 years of your life. It is not a decision to be made lightly. So I'm not saying that you haven't done your research. I'm just telling you to keep an open mind, So don't lock yourself in. Like JC is a time where you really get to experiment and, don't lock yourself into the mindset like, oh, I'm only gonna try something if it's related to econs or medicine. No, like, have fun with it, explore. Because, how to say, because as you put it, you say that you have no activities, right? Well, if that's the case, then all the more you shouldn't lock yourself in, because you have the advantage of pivoting. What do I mean by this? So you already know, like, some of your peers, they've sung like 10 years into musical instruments, or maybe they are very, very hyper focused on a specific field, let's say foreign language, for many, many years. The thing with these type of students, and I see this all the time, is that it eventually just keeps spiraling. Whenever they want to try something new, they're like, but I've already been doing this field my entire life, so like, why should I pivot? It's kind of like sunk cost fallacy. Someone who has been coding their whole life and knows that they're gonna study CS, they might be a bit more hesitant in trying to pick up, art as a career, because their whole life they've been kind of boxed into this mindset. Oh, I'm gonna be a coder next time when I grow up. But meanwhile, for you, lucky you have the advantage of pivoting, right? So you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Don't lock yourself in. Why do I ask you to explore? Now, I feel like JC is a really, really pivotal time to figure out what you want to do, if you're planning to pursue uni, right, or a career afterwards. You will rarely ever find the time to kind of explore and find your true passions as freely as now. So I had this really, really smart friend, one of the smartest friends I know, and I'm from RI, so he's goddamn smart. He ended up as a one of the government scholars, and he's aced like almost every test. I've known him for 6 years. He's the GOAT, basically. And then when it came time to eventually picking his uni and his major, then I asked him, what he chose, and surprisingly, he told me he was gonna try Cambridge Econs, and I was like, wow, Econs, that's weird. And then he never struck me as an Econs guy. I was more of thinking like, pure math, stuff like that. And then I asked him for his rationale. You know what this guy told me? He straight up told me that he has no choice. He said that because in his mind, he's thinking he only did a H3 in game theory at SMU. So this restricts his choice to only applying for econs. I'm pretty sure the guy also has some interest in econs, but don't you think that's such a shit reason? Like, I genuinely feel like, he kind of limited his potential, or limited his choices by just not exploring enough. It's not that he didn't study hard enough, but he didn't try enough things, I would say. Alright. Next point. You said, I feel so useless and worthless right now because while others have been blah 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 blah, I have been wasting my life. Okay. You should watch my first video on my channel. So basically, like, when I was in your age, I think I was also kind of thinking the same way, in the same position like them. Everyone else seems to be like light years ahead, whatever the fuck I've been doing. But the truth is, we have to work with what we have. I mean, the reality is there, right? They've been putting in the work, meanwhile we've kind of been bumming around. I'm curious to know what actually you've been doing the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. If it's not like 100% doom scrolling, watching Netflix, YouTube videos all day, there could be some value possibly. So I remember seeing like a couple Ivy League acceptances. One of their top activities was writing Yuri fan fiction. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Or I've seen others where they label like being top 1% rank at a certain video game as an activity. These type of things are, I mean, our SG society will probably label them as bum activities, but the reality is they do show some sort of dedication and some sort of passion, right? But of course, like I said, if you really have nothing, then it's time to make something. Also, you said that you've quote unquote wasted your life. Like, what is a wasted life to you? What is a fulfilled life to you? You think not getting into a good uni is a wasted life? Is that what defines your worth? I promise you, the kid who spends his entire life grinding, international Olympiads like IMO, he probably doesn't feel like he has a fulfilled life unless he really loves what he's doing. The most valuable use of your time is going to be the one that's most fulfilling to you, honestly. So I would encourage you to stop giving a fuck about what anyone else is doing. Like, personally, I did piano for 10 years. It's kind of like something that my parents forced me into. And I'm going to be honest, like, it didn't really mean anything in the end within the scope of college admissions. I literally labeled it as the last activity in my EC's list. So you can see that whereas the activities that I placed at the top, my so-called top activities, were all stuff that I self-initiated during JC, such as, my paid work doing AI research at Foxconn, or my startups, But yeah, about the piano, another thing is I did find meaning in it in the end with regards to like patience and, helping me to kind of cultivate a different type of mindset. Also, I used to have a really bad anger issues when I was young, so piano really helped me discipline myself. So really, I promise you, you're not useless, you're not worthless. Don't give up on yourself yet, okay? Your life is just starting. Okay, now, you say that I don't know what internships I should begin with. I don't know what volunteering I should do. I don't know how to make myself useful at all. Okay. That's totally normal. I mean, you haven't even entered JC yet, right? Yeah, you don't have to worry about finding some of the opportunities. Like, if your school is doing their job, they should be, letting you be aware of these different opportunities, maybe through your school email or through school announcements and stuff. You just have to seize them. So for my volunteering, I found it through like the school announcements. It was like some of the graduating seniors, they wanted to pass down their project to some juniors, right? So that the project wouldn't just die. And then so I just clicked on a Google form and then I interviewed for Exco and I got it. The important part is to prioritize like gaining experience over waiting for the perfect opportunity. I feel no volunteering opportunity is going to be perfect, no internship is going to be perfect. Prioritize speed. I promise you, gaining that fundamental experience is going to be way more valuable in the long run, and time is scarce, right? The more doors you explore, like the more new doors will open up. This is something if you know, you know. Regarding internships, maybe I'll do that next video because they're a bit more complicated and I can understand like can be a bit more intimidating. especially for those graduating secondary school. Okay, you also mentioned that studying is the only thing you can do. Now, I actually think that's a good thing, right? Studying and doing well for your A levels is actually your primary goal in JC. If you've learned how to study effectively and are able to translate that into good grades in JC, that is legit one of the biggest strengths you could have. When you study efficiently and effectively, I mean, obviously this means you'll have more time for other commitments. You'll be less stressed because you got your studies on lock. And this opens up a lot more flexibility, right? Also, for Ivies/Oxbridge, good grades are a must. Even in J1, right? Your promos grades matter. People think they don't matter. They do matter for the most selective colleges. Alright. You also say that you feel you're lackluster in comparison to many others who have made impacts on the world. Okay, impacts with a capital I. This one actually made me laugh because there's no fucking way you really believe that there are many of your peers who have contributed amazingly to society. If you want to think from that lens, that's simply not true. Almost all non-profits/volunteering die after students leave their school. Most student science research is complete bullshit. Kids who go on a 1-month internship, they don't even have time to contribute anything substantial to the firm. Most national athletes don't do jack shit for national pride. I promise you, more than 90% of these fancy accolades, they're just performative as fuck. You know why I know you don't know any of this? It's because you haven't experienced any of it for yourself. Your worldview is too small, really. No offense. But there are many, many, many others in your exact position though. So if you think about all the students in Singapore at your age as a normal distribution, obviously at the right tail end you'll have your crack people, and then I feel like you're actually not on the left tail end, because if you were, I feel like you wouldn't be stressed out about ECs and stuff. More realistic, you're probably near the center, so relax. Okay, there are probably a lot of others of your peers in your position. You just don't recognize that because of saliency bias, maybe. I promise you, if you genuinely manage to make in your words, an impact on the world while you're even in JC, I mean, that's a real feat in of itself, don't you think? I don't think I've seen any yet, even though I was in RI for 6 years. But yeah, who's no one saying that you can't do it either. Okay, next you ask how many ECs to invest in and how many internships to go for. Okay, this is a very, very material, surface level question. And so I'm not gonna give you a straight answer. It's important to do ECs that you genuinely care about and that connect to your broader why. Why do you do this? It should make sense in the context of what drives you, what you care about, what are your values, etc. Generally, I recommend more than 0 ECs. But as to the exact number and which ECs to go for, legit, only you can answer that. Maybe you end up taking 5 different ECs at the same time, but you realize you kind of don't fuck with 2 of them. Then I guess the right answer for you is 3. But the point is, you need to try to first to know what suits you. You need to step out of your comfort zone to understand how many ECs you can handle, etc. What ECs are for you. I'll give you an example. I'm only doing this YouTube stuff because I discovered through teaching my juniors coding, and being like a trainer for my various school coding competitions, that I actually enjoy, talking to juniors and giving them advice and seeing them succeed. And so that's kind of my why for why I'm doing this, right? College consulting and stuff. So do things that fulfill your why. Don't do things just cause it checks a box or it fills up, an arbitrary number in your head. Even if you have a very common goal amongst overachiever students, like for example, to get into the Ivy League or Oxbridge, that doesn't mean you should take the path they take. I mean, you shouldn't copy all their ECs, etc. In the same way, you also shouldn't blindly copy a senior who got into your dream school. I see this mistake so many times. Like, no, it's everything is so specific, and there's no like one EC that's gonna get you into your dream school. I promise you. Okay. So be yourself. Come on, don't be a sheep following the flock. Now, again about internships. Maybe I'll talk about that next video. You also say, how can I even make an impact on the world without feeling like a floating speck? Nah, sorry, bro. I can't help you with that. I mean, when you figure that out, let me know though. On a different note, I feel like you feel like a quote unquote floating speck is cause you haven't found your purpose, or maybe you haven't discovered enough goals or things that matter to you, and so you're kind of feeling directionless. But that's okay, right? You're gonna have 2 years to explore just that, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, how long has it been? I hope this video hasn't been too long. But my final message to you and like other people, juniors who are maybe stressed out about ECs and stuff, stop seeing your portfolio as a means to an end. Let's take the USA Common App. They make you fill out 10 activities, for example. These activities should not be you trying to be performative, trying to portray an image of yourself to the admissions committee, right? Some fake glamorous version of yourself that you think is idealistic. Instead, it should tell the story of you and what you love, right? When I'm reading your portfolio, I should be able to tell what makes you tick, what drives you, what could get you excited, what are some conversation starters that we could talk about if I ever met you in real life. If it's performative, 9 out of 10 times, it won't be impactful or meaningful enough to get you over the line. I'm sorry, like especially with these college admissions, they can sniff out performative ECs. Well, what you need is passion, really. Only the activities which you really love, you will have the grit and willpower to breathe life into it. And so remember, it's not about the EC, it's about you. Alright. Well, I hope you have a good day. We're at the end of the video, so I have to do my necessary plug now. I do USA college admissions coaching for JC1 and JC2 students. If you guys are interested in any schools, including but not limited to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, MIT, shoot me an email. I can help you get into your dream school. Just hit me up. Alright, I'll see you guys. Bye bye.